So if you've been thinking about starting on Etsy, but you keep hearing people say, it's too late to start an Etsy shop, there's too many people on there, it's too crowded a marketplace, every category is saturated. Today, I'm going to answer that question. Is it too late to start selling on Etsy? G'day there, my name's Jess Van Den. I've been selling on Etsy since 2008, and yes, I still sell there to this day, and I've been fully self-employed as a maker and creative since 2010. So today we're going to look at some numbers. I've got these numbers from the 2020 proxy shareholders report. Etsy is a publicly listed company, and that means that they have to publish all of their finances. So you and me can go see how the company is doing. Of course, it's the beginning of 2022, so they haven't yet published their 2021 results. However, we've got our 2020 results, and considering that's, the year that the COVID pandemic hit, it's going to be an interesting ride to see what's happening with the numbers on Etsy. So the first number, I think one of the most important ones, is the number of buyers and sellers. So active buyers and active sellers on the platform. In 2020, they had 4.4 million active sellers, and they had 81.9 active buyers. So there's a lot more active buyers than there are sellers on the platform. And I don't know about you, but I buy things quite regularly on Etsy, especially around Christmas time and birthdays and things like that. So it's not like each buyer is only making one purchase. They're probably making potentially lots of purchases from lots of different shops during this time. So if that shows you one thing, it shows you that there's a lot more buyers than there are sellers on the platform. So one thing I've heard people say is that it's too hard to compete on Etsy. There's all these Chinese resellers or whatever who are on the platform, and they can sell for a lot cheaper. So there's no way my business is ever going to succeed on there. To that I say a few things. The first one is, when you're selling on the internet, you're already competing with everybody else selling on the internet. And if you're selling just on your own site, nobody is accidentally finding you by being on the venue. When you're on Etsy, people go there to shop for something, and if you're on the platform, they're likely to find you. But if you're not on the platform, they're not going to find you. So that's one of the benefits of being on that platform if you sell handmade, vintage, or supplies. So when you're selling online, you're always going to be up against everybody who's selling similar things to you. Yes, it might not be obvious directly comparable, because comparable, that's a new word. Comparable. Obviously, it's not going to be as obvious, because on Etsy, people are seeing your listing side by side with other people's with the price right there. But if somebody's trawling through the internet just trying to find something, then they're going to potentially look for the cheapest option anyway, right? And of course, I will say it again, you shouldn't be competing on price, really. That's a loser's game, because you're just going to keep going down and down and down, and then you'll not be making enough money to make a sustainable business, and then you'll have to give up and go get a job. So that's a whole nother video. So we'll put that aside for now. And the other thing to realize is that not everybody selling on Etsy lives in the same place. Okay, so someone who is in the US, for example, you sell things in US dollars, you live on US dollars, you live in the US, you have to buy things in the US. Somebody who lives in, Thailand, for example, who is just as legitimately a handmade maker as you are, don't have to charge as much, because the cost of living there is a lot lower. So if they sell in USD, they're earning like a couple of times more in real terms than you are for making a sale at the same amount. So you have to remember that Etsy is a global marketplace. Okay, so some people are going to be able to charge less just because of where they live and because of the currency conversion and the cost of living and things like that. So you can't let that be a barrier to selling on the platform. If I look at people who are competitors with me, there are I'll give you an example of some of my sterling silver rings, right? There are people on the platform who are selling similar sort of things for like $20. Most of mine are around the $100 mark. And then there are other people selling similar things for a couple of $100 on the platform. Okay, so it comes down to the branding. Okay, so that is a big part of the process of pricing. So don't let that be a barrier, is what I'm saying, to selling on the Etsy platform. It shouldn't be a barrier to you that there's lots of people on there who are competing with you, because if you start a business, there's always going to be lots of competitors, and you can't let that be the thing that stops you from using a platform or an outlet that is going to be beneficial, potentially very beneficial to your business. Okay, speaking of numbers, I want to get back to some of the numbers from this report to show how Etsy has been growing over the last few years, and boy, has it been growing. Okay, so I'll show you this graph. So we've got gross merchandise sales. Okay, so we've got it split up into international and domestic as well. And you can see here the GMS accelerated 106.7 in 2020 compared to 2019. Okay, and you can see the upward trajectory on this graph, that the amount of money coming into the platform more than doubled from 2019 to 2020. Etsy makes money when we make money, when its sellers sell stuff, okay? Remember, when it comes to an Etsy shop, to list a product is very, very cheap. Etsy makes its real money when we sell something and they get their cut of the profits. So this is showing us that a lot of people are making money on the platform, because a lot of people are buying on the platform, and it's only going up on a very strong upward trajectory, thanks to, in a large part, the pandemic. And they say that here, they say during 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic significantly shifted global consumer shopping behavior towards online purchases of many retail categories. I think we all knew that. So by selling online, there's never been a better time, because more people have been forced to learn to buy online that might not have previously. And yes, there will be some swing back, and there probably already has been a little bit of swing back in 2021 with, markets opening and shops opening a bit again. But once people have learned how easy it is to shop online, I bet you a lot more of them are going to be doing that on a regular basis than they ever were before, which is great for those of us who want to sell online. Okay, let's look at the next number, which is revenue. So revenue growth accelerated 110.9% in 2020 compared to 2019. I am, by the way, dying to see the 2021 numbers. So I might have to do an update of this when they come out, but we'll see. So again, you can see the massive upward trajectory there. In 2019, 808 million in revenue. In 2020, $1.7 billion in revenue is coming into that platform. There is plenty of money to be made on Etsy by anyone who does a good job of setting up a shop that entices their customers and has beautiful photos and all those millions of other things that you need to do to have an excellent Etsy shop. So I hope I have shown you in this video that there is still space on Etsy. There is still massive growth happening on the platform, and yes, you can be part of that if that's something you want to do. Now, if you need some help with that, I have heaps of resources here on my YouTube channel. I have a whole Etsy playlist that you can check out. I'll put a card to that here. You can have a look at that after finishing this video. And of course, I also have resources that go into more depth on that. The main one is probably Set Up Shop, which is my online course for makers who want to set up a stellar online handmade shop. Now, this course actually works no matter what platform you want to do. I do refer to Etsy sometimes, but and most of my students do set up on Etsy just because it's so affordable and easy to use for a beginner. But if you want to check that out, you can head on over to createandthrive.com/setupshop. I run it live twice a year. The next one is starting on February the 21st, 2022. And if you missed that, no problem. You can join me for another one because I do it, as I said, twice a year. So if you'd like to check that out, link is in the description below. It's very affordable. Okay, I don't charge a lot of money for my courses because I want to help more makers to be able to bring their dream to life. And that's what this course is all about. Over 1,300 makers have used the Set Up Shop system to set up shops online, and I would love to invite you to join us and do that yourself. It's something you've been wanting to do, and it also works if you have a shop that's just not doing anything. If it needs a revamp, it needs an overhaul, it needs a fresh injection of help, then Set Up Shop is also for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Do you agree with me, disagree? Do you think Etsy is a great place? Do you still have reservations about selling there? It's not a perfect platform, but nothing is. You just have to make it work for you. And make sure to subscribe if you want to catch my next video. I talk all about how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business on this channel, amongst other things. If you already have an Etsy shop and you're struggling to make sales, come on and check out this video next, where I talk about 6 reasons people aren't buying from you and how to fix them. Thank you again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye for now.